This episode contains language that is not suitable for minors. Please enjoy responsibly. And now, today's episode. You're listening to The Beatdown. This is episode 18 of season 2, or, if you're talking linearly, that would be about, 46th episode?
We're over the 50-hour mark for sure.
Oh, hours-wise, yeah. I gotta upgrade our account pretty soon. I'm your host, and we're joined by my two friends here, Chris Hewlin and John Rosso. They're always good for conversation on music, what's in our collection, what books we've been reading.
Chris and I just spent the weekend with our biggest fan.
Oh yeah,
our friend
he
Jim.
He won the prize.
I think so. Jim is like it's like we're the Howard Stern show. Like he knows.
Yeah.
He had commentary about us and what a great host you are and how
he's a fan. He's a fan.
That's incredible.
He's a fan. He's a Tony fan too. He's just like, and Tony, man, he's like the perfect foil between you two, and and he knows what he's talking about too. So it's really. It's
I know when we got his essay, maybe folks don't know this, but we did have a contest, Win a Weekend with John and Chris. You had to write a 2-page essay. And I was just in stitches I was just so elated when I got that letter. I was like, this is the guy. He knows his stuff. He's a true fan.
So we went camping, the three of us. It was great. Yeah.
No expenses spared.
But so Jim, all in. He's all in.
I love him. Yeah, you gotta make sure he gets stickers. If we don't have his address yet, give it to me and we'll send him stickers.
I'd be surprised he has not written. He's the man who drives the Cleveland contingency.
And that's why our numbers are up there. Yeah, I
exactly.
thought we were big on the college up there.
There was the beatdown sticker on the refrigerator in the kitchen of the farmhouse, by the way.
That is
Nice.
true.
It was there.
That's great. Well, hello, Jim, and thanks for listening. And we're glad you are a supporter. You're welcome to be on board anytime.
Yep. So that was good. Definitely had some we got to mingle with the fans. It was similar to the way they have those cruises with bands.
Yeah.
So we had a weekend of camping.
Did you guys golf at all?
Of course we did.
And
how
did that go?
It was a nice day. Nothing. Trust me, better golf was being played at the U.S. Open.
Were any clubs being thrown?
No, but John and I are excellent golfers.
I know you are because you've been going.
We're excellent golfers. We went out and played. It was great because we're just so good, and so we can enjoy ourselves. And that was that.
Gold as hell. But
and you guys, how did it go when you were near me over at that? What is it? Meadowbrook? What is that one?
Meadows.
The Meadows.
Meadows. That was the previous weekend. Yeah, that was
your warm-up game.
That was definitely our warm-up game. It was,
sometimes I go by that place and I'm like, it's 40 degrees out and cloudy. What are people doing? It's December. And people are out there. It's no longer just a summer sport.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, our podcast is not about golf because it's just we know a lot more about music.
I know. This is just the 18-hole report. We have our segments.
Yeah. Our highlight of our trip is when we go. There's a little, essentially a farm track that's been turned into a golf course called Shepherd Hills, and it's Chris and I just goofing off at the end of the day. It's just a complete hacky kind of place, but it's fascinating. Like they somehow squeezed holes into this.
Nobody you know is going to see you up there, so it won't wreck your reputation, right?
The truth is, John, if I went through some of my old notebooks and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure I could find at least the first 2 articles that I wrote for my fictitious magazine or podcast or blog or whatever I was going to do at the time. That it was called the Bag Dragger, and it was all like punk rock golf, just like
I like the name of that.
And these are the places to go because you're never going to play Wingfoot, you're never going to play so I'll tell you about the places that are like, if you're a bag dragger like me, then you go to these other places because they're not as pretentious and stodgy. And
was Shepherd's on your list?
Shepherd, like it wasn't on my, like in my first two, John. It was a while ago that I had, like, I know I did them in the 90s is when I had done them, to be quite honest.
Was there, I bet. But, yeah.
Oh, Shepherd's was absolutely there, but I don't know that I had been up there.
Yeah,
at that point.
It was definitely John that turned me onto that place for sure.
I definitely wrote about High Mountain Golf Course in Franklin Lakes, rest in peace, as it were. Which is now a housing development.
That's no longer
it's around. Really lousy too. It's it's really not much to look at. You when you drive in this one road off of Sycamore Ave, and yours is that the 15th, 16th. You're looking down at par 5, and it's just like. Like the houses couldn't be, it just couldn't be uglier. And you're like, wow, you had a golf course to build houses on, like
did they keep the clubhouse?
I don't know. I don't think so, John. I think that's gone. I thought it was the field office while they were building them, and it's only been there. Now it's probably been there.
I had
5
both
years,
my kids' christenings at that place.
No kidding.
No, my dad came through with connections and got us a deal over there, and that's where we had the belly dancers and all.
It's over. They're gone.
Glad I was able to do that.
So going back to the topic of the beatdown itself, this past Saturday, Maca turned 80 years old.
I see the billboards out on Route 3. I just drove by it today. That's awesome.
There's billboards?
I texted you guys that day when I saw him. I'll have to say, well, I'm usually driving by, so it's tough to. There were two billboards out on Route 3 last week.
It was like sponsored. Was it Sony who sponsored it?
What you call it? No. Amazon Music, I think, was one of them.
Amazon Music, because
they own what's that place in Newark that they own? They own the
Prudential.
Yeah, the company that does the Audible. Is an Amazon company.
Yeah.
I think they had
with your Amazon. You get an Audible subscription with your Amazon.
Yeah, so that there was that billboard. The other billboard, I was surprised, was the billboard that said to Starbucks, because there's a Starbucks on the other side of the highway, on the eastbound side. Stop the surcharge for using plant-based milk. Paul McCartney.
Yep. He's been big on having. On vegan alternatives, so that where they don't charge you more for vegan, milk.
The interesting fact is there is a ginormous public relations company in that building, in the building next to the hotel that has the Starbucks in it. So when I see billboards like that around, I always think, is that company the one that's hot? The company that's right there, are they hired to put this up there, put stuff like this up there, and that's, who's really behind it. So one side of the highway is the stadium where Paul McCartney's playing. The other side of the highway is the Starbucks, and next to that is the ginormous, conglomerate public relations firm building. So that's what I usually think. Like, oh, they're hired to do the dirty work here, and it's like, so they're putting billboards up. But I was pretty surprised by that. And then, of course, I see the one of celebrating his birthday. Mm-hmm. But then I see in the paper that local New Jersey rocker John Bon Jovi's there celebrating. Yeah, no, I don't know if he was there, but definitely Bon Jovi.
Davies should have. I would have been more interested in that.
I got to dig deeper into the news, the news article. Now that he's a Jersey resident.
I was very. Who's a Jersey resident? Oh, Dave Davies, not Paul McCartney. They're breaking news here. I think it was one of our campmates, Rich, who broke the news about Bruce showing up because he has this was actually Beatdown's slagging of Bruce Springsteen was a subject of discussion.
Oh, people got fired up about that.
Well, our biggest fan, Jim, and he is actually taller than me. Was trying to get it into Chris. It's like, why do you have a thing? Why do you guys always dig on Bruce Springsteen? And ultimately, I think we agreed with him that it wasn't even so much Springsteen as of what Springsteen represents to us being Jersey guys.
Oh, yeah.
And the crowd that he brings.
Is it this guy Jim? Was he someone that grew up in New Jersey, or you know him from somewhere else?
He was from Cleveland. That's why he knows all the Cleveland guys.
Okay.
This is the Jim ection. So it's
yeah, it's part of the deal anyway.
That's right. There's a whole episode theme about him.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. Yeah, he doesn't understand that. It's like, when I was down in Atlanta and The Sopranos were big, I was like, I couldn't watch that show. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was the opposite. I could watch that show. And then when I moved back up and I'm like a stone's throw away from like West Caldwell, I was like, it's not funny anymore.
Yeah,
and I'm at my son's game and I'm standing next to four guys that want to be,
they want to be made.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's like that stereotype is a stereotype for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
David Chase got it pretty close.
He nailed it. And I always think, because I was actually just driving on 17 the other day, and I was like, he knows the area so well. Like that one the episode where they tied in the Ramsey Outdoor Store where the guy was in debt.
Yeah.
And they had to close it. I was like, how does he know all these places like that to tie it in like that? Like
have you watched the movie that he did afterwards, the Not Fade Away, about his rock band?
No, I saw that limited series. I think that Scorsese and him and Mick Jagger produced that vinyl.
Oh, this is well before that. This is
okay.
It was the theatrical movie. The soundtrack's on Amco Records,
nice.
But it's essentially his story of like growing up in Jersey and starting a band, and how he wanted to go to the city and
oh my god,
obsessed with the Stones, and putting a band together. And Little Steven is the guy who, like,
of course,
who they play the band. Like, he's not in the movie, but he teaches the band how to play, and it's and they do all the music that they mime to, that his band mimes to. But it really, it does a very accurate job of like, being a garage band in the 60s, and they run into different characters, but ultimately his music career turns into UCLA film school.
That sounds
So, but it's Sopranos, like it's slow moving. Like, you want to just veg and like, be part of the world, like rather than so much that it's the story. You're kind of like, but Gandolfini plays the guy's dad, and he was, he just, I swear to God, he like had stolen some of my dad's dialogue.
Oh, I bet. He's nailed down so many little things like that. So that's crazy. And I don't know if I should bring this up yet, because I've only gone through 2 episodes, is that Sex Pistols thing on Hulu. Have you guys watched some of that?
One of the conversations we had with Jim, where I was talking about the Sex Pistols. Chris, have you seen it?
No. There you go. Sorry.
I watched all 6 episodes very quickly.
I was surprised by the fact that Steve Jones, the way he learned guitar, or I've only watched 2 episodes.
On speed?
So he just, I find that hard to believe. And not knowing the backstory and the full story, playing one of the songs that we do with the Pedestrians, I was always like, I don't know, I don't believe the story that their guitar player only had been playing for a short. He's doing stuff in that's like a seasoned guitar player, unless they had a session player.
What? Hold on. Well, you're jumping all over the place. Yes, it took him a week staying up on speed to figure out how to play No Fun.
Okay, but still, like, so that's 75. When did they record their first record? Or
77.